According to Politico magazine, Richard Milhous Nixon has displaced Ronald Reagan as the president from whom young Republicans draw the greatest inspiration. This is quite a turnaround for the reputation of America's 37th president. Decade after decade, Republicans have wallowed in the memory of the genial, tough-talking Reagan, who supposedly won the Cold War for the United States. Nixon, on the other hand, supposedly made nice with Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev and failed to champion American values around the world. In the liberal bestiary, Nixon occupies a unique place, a symbol of unsurpassable malevolence and corruption. As for the easily intimidated Republicans, they long ago distanced themselves from their former leader, the most successful Republican politician of the 20th century. However, as the unipolar moment continues to unravel, it's only right to re-examine the legacy of a president who didn't see the world as an arena where good guys are perpetually fighting bad guys. The Nixon years were marked by extraordinary diplomatic accomplishments, of far-reaching treaties signed, and bold diplomatic initiatives undertaken. They were the years of détente with the Soviet Union, an era of peace and stability, the likes of which the world has rarely enjoyed either before or since. It was a time of major arms control agreements such as the SALT and ABM treaties, as well as the Biological Weapons Convention. They were the years of the Four-Power Agreement on Berlin, and of course the Helsinki Final Act. What Nixon sought to create was a global security architecture in which the Cold War rivals acknowledged and agreed to respect one another's security concerns. Once such mutual recognition was in place, international cooperation became possible, from ending the Vietnam War to ensuring the 1973 Yom Kippur War didn't spiral out of control. The terrifying confrontations of the past over Berlin, Cuba, and the Middle East gave way to amiable annual superpower summits. In his televised address to the Soviet people in May 1972, Nixon declared, quote, "We want for you and for your children the same peace and abundance that we want for ourselves and for our children." It would be inconceivable for a US president to speak like that today. In comparison with the Nixon era, recent years have been staggeringly bereft of any diplomatic achievements. Nixon ended a war. His successors, on the other hand, have launched wars in Bosnia, Yugoslavia, Iraq, Libya, and Syria, not to mention a proxy war in Ukraine. Their foreign policy has been marked by threats, sanctions, color revolutions, and coups. Recent presidents have walked away from the ABM, the INF, and the Open Skies Treaty. Worst of all, World War III, inconceivable during the Nixon era, has now become a distinct possibility. The US could do worse than to seek inspiration from the much maligned Nixon.